Hi and welcome back to my video series about frequently asked questions about embodied emissions. I'm Barbara Albert, co-CEO of 100% Renewables, a consultancy specialising in the development of climate action strategies. In this video, I'll be talking about how to measure embodied emissions. There are many ways to calculate embodied emissions, with trade-offs between accuracy and ease of calculation. In an ideal world, everyone accounts for their emissions, and so accounting for your embodied emissions of your Scope 3 sources would be an easy exercise. Imagine you're using environmentally friendly paper for printing your organization's magazine. If your paper supplier has determined the carbon footprint of their product, you could easily account for the embedded emissions in that paper. However, you may be procuring tens of thousands of individual products and services. Only a fraction of those suppliers will be able to provide you with information about the embedded emissions in their products and services. And engaging with each individual supplier and looking up supplier-specific greenhouse gas information will be too time-consuming and costly. So you need to find a way to estimate embedded emissions. Going back to the example of paper, if you don't know the embedded emissions of your paper, you will need to apply more generic emissions factors that translate from your activity data to associated carbon emissions. When it comes to activity data, you can use the weight of the paper or you can use its cost. Using the weight of the paper may give you more accurate results in terms of carbon emissions, but it is a bit harder to calculate the weight of the paper as opposed to just using the expenditure. What I've illustrated here with paper is the same for other products and services you buy. Several software solutions and publicly available data sources exist that translate from activity data or expenditure to associated emissions. Some of these translations may apply global data or data from another region or country that has done this analysis. If you're looking to become carbon neutral in Australia, you can use emissions factors provided by Climate Active. When you start out with accounting for embedded emissions, your data collection processes and your methods may not be very sophisticated. However, it's important that you start somewhere. You can then work on making your carbon footprint calculation processes more rigorous each time you update your Scope 3 carbon footprint. Initially, you may start accounting for embedded emissions relying on relatively low accuracy data such as expenditure. However, over time, you can improve your data quality, perhaps focusing on your biggest sources of emissions and your Tier 1 suppliers. I hope you've enjoyed today's video. Please like the video and subscribe to our channel. Thanks for watching.